What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. This is basically just a little bit of an update as to what's going on. I'm halfway through a video. You'll never guess what it's about, but it's taken me longer to do than I thought it was going to do. This is an absolute art form, it really, really is. And it does take quite a long time, but we're getting there, look. We're definitely getting there. I've got some sort of shape going on. It just needs an awful lot more work. And I'm probably going to end up having to do it in multiple pieces as well, which I'm not that happy about. But, you know, we'll see, we'll get there. So anyway, this is the update as to what's going on. I think we've had a couple more people jump in as well, which is cool. So all these names popping up on the right hand corner. One of them is going to be winning the bike. I'm cracking on just trying to get stuff done. This week has been a little bit on the manic side. Normally I'm in here every morning, literally every morning doing stuff. But not this week, unfortunately. I've had to stay at home for a few days because we've had some deliveries and stuff turn up and someone's got to be there, sign for it and blah, 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 blah. So I haven't had as much time to put into the bike this week as I was hoping to. But, you know, we are making progress. I am starting to find the limitations on Sherman though, because this is coming down quite a lot and I keep on clobbering this bit. So we might end up doing it in multiple bits. I'm just trying to get this bit to fit around the back of the frame at the minute. It is getting there, and it's not a bad finish, but, you know, still got an awful lot to do. So what else is going on? Well, we're booked in on Dyno for the 8th. And there's a few jobs and stuff that I've got to get done before then. So that's like next week. The van, as you know, was blown up. That wasn't a good day. Mostly because it's the biggest thing I've got to be able to stick a bike in. Now, I haven't tried getting that in the back of the caddy yet. We are going to be giving that a go. But I've also made a couple of other little decisions. Let me show you actually, hang on. Right, so we're going to be changing all this lot around a little bit. Well, no, not a lot, but there is stuff that needs to change because I'm changing stuff around here. So by the time we get the seat hump on here, the idea is that there's probably going to be one fixing at the top and two either side. That'll be on the inside on stud, so it will just kind of slot down in place and then you can do it all up. Then the battery tray will go in and then the battery will go in. So the battery tray is held either side by two cap edge screws. So I'll be able to get in and do those up, that won't be an issue. And then shoving the battery in, well the trouble is the way I've been having everything at the minute and the way it's all been wired, the terminals are at the back. That is going to be a little bit of a pain to be able to hook stuff up to. So the battery is going to be turning around with the terminals at the front, but that means I've got to change all my wiring. Well, not all of it, just like this bit. I've got the wires to do it and whatnot, and I do need to extend the wire to the starter solenoid as well, just because the battery tray is now up a little bit more as well. But I need to get that done before we go dyno, because otherwise it ain't running. And then the other thing is with the seat hump. So he's going to go on something like that. I've still got to pull all the sides and stuff in, and that's becoming a bit of an issue. He's going to be going on something like that, which actually looks really good from the side because it kind of follows this line down to the tank, which is lovely. I might be shaving the front down a bit so it squashes in just a little bit more because it's just an arc. It was all done with a compass. I'm still trying to decide on whether I want to keep that or whether I want it to be sort of more like the back is, where it's a bit steeper on the sides with a tighter curve on the top. I might do that, I don't really know. I'm still mucking about with ideas, but the trouble that I've got is that's a straight, that's a curve, then you've got a straight bit, and then essentially there's a curve here, and it goes straight along the side to another curve on this side. And it is proving really hard to wheel, actually. It's just, there's an awful lot of bending and shaping going on in a very short sort of area. We're not a million miles off, but unless I can figure out how to get this curve in, just by stretching it, which is all the English wheel is really doing, then what I might be doing is having this top bit off and doing the sides as a separate piece and then welding it on. I don't know yet, I'm still playing about with ideas. But this just takes an awful lot of wheeling to get the rise in it. I mean, there's a hell of a rise to this. If you try and flatten it out, you just can't, like, at all. If this, like, I've got a rise here of about 3/4 of an inch, something like that. Maybe a little bit more, but I've also took it all the way down the side, so this is properly domed up. I know it's bent over this way as well, so you can't really see it that well. But there is a massive amount of metal shifted in this. And part of the issue that I've got is I need to be able to wheel down the side, and also need to put a little bit of a rise in this bit down here as well. The trouble is, to get it in the wheel, the other side of it is clobbering, and I can't stretch it out to get that rise in this bit to be able to get the shape to fit the seat. So, you know, it's I hadn't really planned on that one. I didn't really think that far ahead, if I'm absolutely honest about it. But at the minute, I'm just trying to get the top section the right shape so I can get it all to fit nicely. Then I can mark it up and make it all symmetrical and all that sort of stuff. Chop it off and then do the side bit separately is what I'm thinking. It is just... This one is a lot different. It's going to look similar to Gixxit, but because the seat frame itself is that much different and I've got more curves in more places, it's proving hell of a thing to try and get the shaping right. So it's all nice and symmetrical and, you know, fits the bike and it looks really nice and all that sort of stuff. So what's the time now? 5 to 2. I was here at 10 o'clock and I've just been doing this all day. Just refining it and trying to get it right. But I think we're going to be doing this in sections, which I haven't done before. Not on thin sheet metal work. So, you know, that'll be interesting. That'll be a first for the shop. At the minute, I'm just trying to get a ridge out that I'll put into it. What else is going on? Oh, yesterday was my first day in industrial engineering. So I'm now a technician in IE. It was a really good first day, actually. I quite enjoyed all that. It is a lot different to just making the prototypes, because now we're monkeying about with the machines that make the production stuff. And, you know, jigs and all that sort of stuff. It's going to involve CAD work, all sorts of stuff. So I'm properly looking forward to that. First day went well, so long may it continue. How's that coming out? Oh yeah. Oh. It's really hard trying to get the shapes equal. I'll keep on marking it up with Sharpie and then rolling it and rubbing all my Sharpie off. But we is getting there. So what else is going on? Oh yeah, the van being dead, that's all, you know, as you know. Sorted out another car. So it's not a 216, it's a 116. It's a BMW. I got my numbers wrong. So there's a few little bits that need swapping out on it, which Jack and Kira are going to sort out for me. So in the meanwhile, I'm still driving around in his caddy, which is all right actually, it does the do. Then I'll have a car, but obviously that means I can't just stick big stuff in the back of the car, like, bikes for example. So I'm currently on the lookout for, well, I'm going to have to fit a tow bar to it and then get a bike trailer. And ideally, that will happen sooner rather than later, but I'm not entirely sure at this point when I'm going to be getting the car. The caddy doesn't have a tow bar to it, so yeah, I'm just conscious that with Dyno Day coming up on the 8th, I've just got a ton of stuff to get sorted. One, as far as just getting the bike down there to start off with, but then I've also got to do stuff like the exhaust on it. I mean, we might be having another Dyno Day is what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to have time to sort out another exhaust for it and make up a link pipe and have a longer can so we can see if we can get it down to 99 dBs. That's going to have to happen at, you know, at another point. And I will be curious to see what the difference in power is with the longer, normally baffled exhaust as well. So that kind of means that we're going to be going back to the dyno yet again, which tends to happen with project bikes, I know that. But that'll be the 4th day at the dyno, just trying to get stuff sorted and get it all right. We should have the DB killer wrapped up and shoved in the end, so we'll see what difference that makes. If that brings us down to 99, which I don't think it's going to, but you know, we'll give it a go, then we're in, and I don't need to make the other exhaust. But then it's just a case of how you mount the exhaust as well, because it's going to be a long can. It'll probably be a high level jobby, just because then I can lengthen the exhaust link pipe a little bit and see what difference that makes as well. But then I need to have some sort of strap that holds the exhaust can to the bike, because it's going to be too far away from the foot peg to do it. And if I need to present it to the MSVA test with that, it's also going to have to look sort of like it's meant to be there, not that it's just been stuck on for the test and then it's just going to be pulled off as soon as I leave with a pass certificate. So what I'm thinking is for the number plate bracket, you know, the mounting jobby for it, I'm probably going to go with a standoff version, I think, because I've been measuring stuff up and looking at it and all that sort of stuff. And I just think the standoff sort of Panigale style, you know, where it comes out from underneath the seat and then you get the number board with stuff on, as long as it don't stick out too far and look stupid or anything, I think that's going to be the way to go. And the idea is it's going to be a tube across the top of it that's got the number plate light on it and indicators on the end, and then the number plate will be underneath it. But I could probably use that tube to support like the very end of the can, because it's going to be the only place on the bike where I could realistically mount something where it doesn't just look like an afterthought, like it's supposed to be there. So the chap at the MSVA test centre doesn't start raising eyebrows and going, well, you're just going to stick something else on it, aren't you? Put that on, let's test that. So, you know, with all that fabrication and stuff that's needed to do that, there's no way I'm going to get that done for dyno. So we will be going back to the dyno shed at another point, I think. I don't really see another option to it. But you know, it is what it is. We just have to get on and get it done, and just keep making progress, really. This really has got a hump to it, isn't it? It's lovely and smooth as well. The more you roll it, the more it gets polished up and stuff. And I'm getting better with my tram lines. There's no effort to rolling it at all. And I just find if you go like slow and steady and like quite gently with it, you can actually take the time to get your tram lines really close and you get a blinding finish. You know, I mean, there's not a ripple to it. They're in. What you can see on it just rubs off because it's obviously I need to clean my roller again. But it's actually looking really nice, really good. It's just a shame it's a bloody stupid shape and I'm not going to be able to do it all in one piece. But there you go. So there is a video coming out on this, which like I say I'm halfway through. You'll probably see me doing this bit as well. And that's probably going to be out next week, I think. So I'm sorry I haven't been putting the videos up like I used to. Not this week, but it's just been absolutely manic, and like half my week I say has disappeared because I've had to stay at home during the day. It's one of those things and there's not a great deal I can do about it really, but as you can see I'm doing stuff when I'm in here. It's a lot nicer working in a clean shop as well. That is cool. Next week I've got some stuff that I need to do for my own little business too, which I need to find time to do. So there's some hangers that I need to get powder coat, then I've got to get them all assembled and stuff because we've got an order coming through that they need to go out for. And I need to get ahead of the game over the next 2 or 3 weeks and get some more made. So that's happening. And then there's also some bits and pieces I need to turn up for Jack. Just for doing calipers or something, I don't know what it is, but I've got a drawing. So I need to make up a whole load of these little cap things that fit into the holes that the pistons go in, into car calipers, just so we can powder coat them without getting goo and everything else in there. So that's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm not sure how many videos are going to be coming out next week. I definitely want this one doing. But I don't know, we just have to sort of wait and see how we go, really. What was the other thing going on? Oh yeah, buttons. Where are, oh, they're in there, I'm not getting them out. Buttons, bane of my bloody life at the minute, because I've been looking at this going, I've got the kill switch and the starter thingy over there, which is just, you know, it's what you'd shove on a track bike basically. And the switch gear on this side, you would also stick on a track bike. It's like real minimal, you know, primary colour buttons or whatever. You just got like the indicators, the horn and the lights. It's just a 3-button setup that goes around the grip. Thing is, I've also need to get another set of buttons for this flaming Speedo. They do some, but they ain't got any in stock. And I've been phoning them and phoning them and phoning them. Yes, they're on the order. When's the order coming in? Don't really know. We haven't ordered it yet. But we are still carrying them. We'll get them at some point. But looking at the buttons, I'll see if I can get pictures of each of them. These are the buttons that was going on here for the horn and whatnot, which I've had a change of heart over. And then you've got the kill switch. He looks like this. And then you've got the buttons for the Speedo, and they look like this. They're all bloody different. Every single one of them is different. So I need to change something. The other thing is I still need to sort out what I was going to be doing for the choke. I was thinking of shoving something on the end of the carb, where the throttle position sensor goes. I was going to rig something off that and then tie it into the top of the carb. Nice little bracket with like a brass plunger or something like that you would pull out to, no, you'd have to push it in to do the carb, to do the choke. And I just think it's going to look a bit messy and stuff. So I'm thinking about going back to standard switch gear on here, just because it'll be familiar for anybody who jumps on a bike, instead of just, you know, buttons that don't really look like they, you know, you can't tell what. If you look at the Moto Gadget ones, the build quality is brilliant. I get all that. They're all made out of alloy and blah, 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 blah. But you don't know what button does what. It's just buttons, that's it. So I'm thinking I might be going for the standard switch gear sort of arrangement. Won't have the throttle, you know, bit to it as well, because I'm running the quick action throttle, which has got its own housing anyway. But it also means that I would get that choke lever up on the handlebar instead of having to jerry rig something on the side of the carb, which I'm starting to think just wouldn't look right. And ideally I'd want it on the other side, because otherwise when the choke is off, the plunger would be all the way out. And that would just, you know, it wouldn't look very nice, I don't think. So I've got a set coming, and I'm going to try them and see what they look like. And if they're going to do then that's what I'm going to run with, I think. It'll be familiar to anybody that gets the bike. Everything's all labelled up with all the symbols and all that sort of stuff, so it's going to be blatantly clear and obvious. And wiring it will be a doddle as well. So that's what I'm thinking. And also we're definitely running a front mud guard. I've figured out how I'm doing it. But I do need to take some dimensions and just CAD it up first. It's going to be like quite the little machining project. And I'm thinking like a real simple, old school looking sort of arrangement on the front, but I don't know, I might jazz it up just a little bit. I don't want to see any fixings, I want to hide all that lot, but we are going to be having a mud guard on it. And primarily that's just to stop everything going that way and hitting engines and all coolers and, you know, all the spray coming off the front of it and that sort of stuff. So it will be detachable if you want to. If you want to take it off and chuck it in the bin when you win the bike, then, you know, you can do so. I do think it looks better without one, but practicality says I think it needs to have one, in essence. So that's what I'm doing. There's going to be loads of people now going, yeah, my bike's going to have a front mud guard. I was adamant I wasn't going to put one on, but there you go. So it's only just like a real quick update, just to say thank you to all these people that's been appearing up there, and just to recognise the new fellas that's jumped in as well. It's not much of a change or anything else, but I just want to, you know, because like somebody does chip in and then, but there may not be a video for 2 or 3 days or something like that. So I keep getting messages going, did you get it? Have you seen it? Am I in the hat? Yes, you are. If your name appeared up there, you is definitely in the hat, and you do stand a chance of winning the bike. But this is just the easiest way for me to confirm it to everybody. So with that, I'm going to crack on and get this done. I don't know how much I'm going to get done today. Even if it's just the top section, I'll be happy with that. But that's where I'm going to leave it for this one. So thank you ever so much for watching and chipping in. And I do hope you're well and staying safe. And we'll see you on the next one, which hopefully ain't going to be that long. All depending how this lot goes. Laters.